Paul, his I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that.
Yeah.
And
Do you guys ever talk outside the ring?
I'm pity with him. I'm pity with him.
Speaking bad about my company, I'm not a liar. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. I work hard to build my name, to build my reputation, and I'm not gonna let anyone go out there and smear my name and talk bad about me, talk bad about my family, or talk bad about my company.
They said it was a lie. So they said he owed about $5.5 million more in taxes because of it. They also...
Manny Pacquiao criticizes Floyd Mayweather over the alleged $500 million scam music and his reckless spending, saying, "I feel sorry for him," while still acknowledging Mayweather's boxing talent. Pacquiao criticizes his obsession with material possessions, an extravagant lifestyle, and the belief that wealth defines a person's value, stressing that principles matter more than money, and that a true legacy is not built on cash.
I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
It's kind of, yeah, he's boastful. He's I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that.
Yeah.
And
do you guys ever talk outside the ring?
I'm pity with him. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think sometimes, you know, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, "What should I do to get into heaven?" He says, "Sell all your belongings." And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Exactly.
I feel like that sometimes too when I'm working for my wife, or I'm working for my family, but then the conviction of like, all right, you got to make sure you're doing it the honest way, the right way, the loving way, not the cheap and easy way. Sometimes people, they try to do both.
There's a discipline, a balance, like discipline, control yourself. Like, for example, you're earning money. So what I did is like, you know, I help the church. I give the 10% to the church, helping the church to run and establish more churches. And the 10% separate to help the poor people, building houses, giving a sustainable livelihood, like that. Just
Floyd Mayweather denies every scam allegation, calling them completely untrue, and revealing that this is his first time taking legal action. He has filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Business Insider, specifically naming insider Enki and reporter Daniel Geiger as defendants in a New York case, insisting the media is unfairly targeting him to damage his reputation and legacy.
I know you guys want to talk about real estate. Only thing I'm doing is answer the question.
That is a real estate question.
Okay, so out of 48 years, I'm 48 years old, and I've never sued a media outlet. The media outlet throughout my life has bashed me, talked bad about me, spoke bad about my family. Now, I've always been judged because how I have presented myself when I'm promoting a fight. You cannot judge me for entertaining the people when I'm promoting a fight. Judge me for the person that you know. You can't judge me if you don't know me. So that's no different from people in this room may want to do a deal with me. But if someone going out there putting lies on my name, putting lies on me and my team and my family and hurting my business, we're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions of dollars. We can't do that. So this is my first time ever filing a lawsuit against the media.
Floyd Mayweather faces controversy over bankruptcy rumors and alleged scams, while Manny Pacquiao criticizes his focus on exhibition money instead of building a true boxing legacy. Pacquiao suggests Mayweather's arrogance may finally be catching up with him and emphasizes that real champions show humility instead of showing off wealth, reminding fans that greatness is proven in the ring, not through diamonds, private jets, or self-promotion, and that a genuine legacy is shown through quiet actions rather than loud displays.
Seen him? And if you have, what do you think of that? Just him as a fighter, and then that whole Mayweather wanting to fight him.
I don't want to make the story.
You can be modest.
I don't want to make the story big and the issues big. So I just want to. I want to.
Floyd Mayweather has long presented an image of perfect financial success, but recent findings from the Internal Revenue Service, music, suggest a different reality. While Mayweather insists his financial obligations have been handled, IRS records indicate he still owes millions in unpaid taxes. This is not about minor discrepancies in music or simple accounting delays, but a significant liability hanging over him. The contrast between Mayweather's public image and these reports is striking, leading many to question whether his statements are more about protecting his brand than revealing the full financial truth, making it harder to ignore the possibility of instability beneath the flashy lifestyle.
And taxes. That is how Floyd Mayweather got knocked out by the IRS in 2022. Floyd had some issues with his taxes for the year 2017. The government checked his tax return and found a problem, so they informed him about it on February 2nd, 2022. He claimed a big expense of about $14 million that he says he paid for legal expenses. The government didn't agree with this expense and said it was a lie. So they said he owed about $5.5 million more in taxes because of it. They also said he had to pay an additional $1.1 million in penalties for making mistakes on his tax return. That was how Floyd got KO'd into the hot water with the tax authorities. Comment on the word free below this video and I'll send you access to a free call where you can discuss your tax situation with the most experienced attorney and get the best possible recommendations in a few minutes. Make sure you're following so you can receive the link.
In recent years, Floyd Mayweather has depended heavily on exhibition fights as a new source of income, often supported by high-profile sponsors. Some of the most profitable partnerships came from cryptocurrency, companies looking to use his worldwide fame. Although the sponsorship money poured in, doubts soon emerged about the credibility and transparency of several crypto projects he promoted. Reports indicate that Mayweather may not have fully understood these ventures or failed to properly investigate them. As a result, critics argue that he chased quick payouts over responsibility, potentially leading fans toward risky investments, reinforcing perception that profit was placed ahead of principle.
The cool thing to do right now. So Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather just had their fight. Logan went 8 rounds with the 50-0 Mayweather, but look at their shorts. So first of all, here is Logan's shorts that he wore. He had Blockfolio as a sponsor, which, you know, we all track our portfolios on Blockfolio, and he also had Superbid. Superbid is some kind of random coin that sponsored Logan. And their whole website right now is just about how they sponsored him. But let's take a look at Floyd's shorts. Floyd Mayweather was sponsored by Ethereum Max, which is just some random ass coin that paid Floyd to put them on his shorts. As you can see, it's one of those 0.00 shit coins. It's down 10% even after the promo. So I obviously don't recommend buying any of those coins. But you can see that Floyd and Logan were both sponsored by crypto companies, which is honestly...
Floyd Mayweather is not the only figure caught up in crypto controversy, but his involvement has increased concerns about celebrities promoting financial products without proper oversight. When someone with Mayweather's level of fame puts his name behind cryptocurrency, music, it gives the project a sense of legitimacy that many fans accept without question. Unfortunately, some of these ventures have proven unstable or even outright music scams. The limited regulation in the crypto market makes it easier for bad actors to use celebrity influence as bait. And Mayweather's repeated association with such deals has strengthened calls for tougher consumer protections, music, and stricter rules governing financial endorsements in sports and entertainment.
And of course, there's a laundry list of famous influencers, Logan Paul, Kim Kardashian's David Dobrik, that have all endorsed these absolute shitcoin scam casino rugs that leaves their investors high and dry because they paid them a bunch of money up front and maybe they didn't know any better because it's such a nascent space. But I am just flabbergasted that the highest paid boxer, one of the most famous people on the planet, Floyd Mayweather, has managed to become a repeat offender as a scam artist. Now, everybody knows Floyd's an opportunist. He's an entrepreneur. He likes to make money. He always has money, talks about money. That's his shtick. That's his persona. That's fine. You can make money. You can be a hustler. You can get paid a bunch to box, do whatever you want.
Eddie Hearn did not hold back when discussing Floyd Mayweather's current career path. He praised Mayweather's skill in the ring, but pointed out a concerning shift music towards staged exhibition fights instead of competitive bouts. Hearn suggested this change is not motivated by legacy or passion for the sport, but by financial necessity, without major sponsorships or pay-per-view headliners. Mayweather appears to rely on exhibition matches, which offer relatively low risk and high returns as his main strategy.
Because you know I don't have social media on my phone. Yeah. So they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, Floyd Mayweather ain't got no money. That's why he doing exhibition. No, Eddie don't believe that now. Yeah.
But Eddie will say some shit like that.
Eddie will say some shit like that. But one thing, don't worry about that. But me and Eddie got it clear. Didn't we, Eddie? Yeah. One thing, me and my buddy got it clear.
We said as long as it's 10 or 20, no problem. Anything less, can't be less than 10, because then we're struggling for money.
I had to show Eddie some of the account. Eddie, hold on.
Imagine how much money Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter. You know what I'm saying?
50 Cent increased scrutiny on Floyd Mayweather by publicly mocking his recent claims about property ownership, questioning whether the high-value real estate Mayweather music claims actually exists under his name, although this is not the first time the rapper has criticized him. The timing amid financial trouble rumors made it particularly impactful, reinforcing public doubts that Mayweather's wealth might be more about image than reality, and suggesting his empire may rely more on perception than substance.
Let's break it down really quick so you can understand, yes, the fuck he did. Let's start off with the purchase price. He bought 1,000 units for $402 million. What's the math? 402 million, let's say 400 million divided by 1,000 units. That's what, people? $400,000, okay? Follow me. Now, rent in New York is about $3,000 to $4,000 for a 2 or 3 bedroom. Crazy, I know. That's how they living though. Now keep up. 400,000. What's 1% of 400,000? All right, that's $4,000. In real estate, there's something called the 1% rule, which means if something is 1% of the purchase price in rent, that means it is a cash flowing possibility opportunity. So he has a cash flowing property straight out the gate. We're not going to mention the hundreds of millions of dollars in tax exemptions he will get for this property.
Chael Sonnen offered his take on Floyd Mayweather's troubles, attributing them not to a lack of earnings, but to his lifestyle. Sonnen argued that Mayweather's excessive spending, music, from luxury cars to gambling and high-end indulgences, has finally caught up with him. He stressed that no amount of wealth can survive unchecked extravagance, highlighting a broader concern that Mayweather's success may be weakened by his inability to control his appetite for luxury.
Into a UFC octagon or some cage somewhere and takes in MMA fights.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box when he said he's retired, why? Why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so Mike Tyson, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to...
Floyd Mayweather changed the way boxers market fights by embracing the role of the villain. Arrogant, boastful, and unapologetic, he turned public dislike into millions. Fans paid not only to see him win, but sometimes to see him lose. While financially successful, this approach blurred the line between image and reality, making him more a symbol of controversy and ego than admiration for his skills.
Alone either, with financial lawsuits, unpaid jewelry bills, and the crypto scam lawsuit haunting his name. The money brand seems to be leaking from all sides. Floyd Mayweather has always been the face of untouchable wealth in boxing. He turned luxury into a lifestyle, turning his nickname Money into an entire identity. But the private jets and million-dollar shopping sprees, cracks in that image are beginning to show, and they're showing faster than anyone expected. Mayweather is broke, but no one's openly saying it yet, except his old rival.
Wow. I don't understand. Why the need to package these things Africans, black people do, packaging. They appear to be, why do you want to appear to be rich instead of be rich? I'm not into this. I mean, you just propaganda. He's just said he bought 400 million deal with the 62 flats in New York, and none of them were real. Why do you feel the need to embarrass yourself like that? Just live your life and enjoy. Nobody cares how much Bugatti you got. Nobody cares about how much Ferrari or how much watch your watch cost, 18 million, whatever. Nobody cares. These are all liabilities. As soon as you buy the watch, you can't sell it for 18 million again. It's not physically possible. It's not an asset. He's gonna go bankrupt soon. But anyway, I wish him all the